Hello everyone and welcome to this week edition of Armytage Money Talks. I'm Austin, Portfolio Manager at Armytage. Today I have with me Brock McLean, the Relationships Manager at Armytage. So we just finished our ICM and we had a really robust discussion on the recent IPO market in the Australian equity market. So just a bit of statistic. Last year there's been 130 new IPOs, financial year 21. In financial year 22 so far, and we haven't finished December yet, there have been 107 IPOs. So we almost reached last year's number in less than 6 months. And in recent weeks, we've found a lot of IPOs underperformed. So say BioMe, IPO at 20 cents and last traded at 10 cents. And the reason being, a lot of IPOs have been overpromised by the brokers. Say oversubscribed, CEDAs stay the same, they're not selling out, but they actually did that on the very first day, which is the case for BioMe. So we've seen a lot of underperformers in the IPO markets, and we were just wondering if there's any gold nuggets in this sector. So what do you think, Brock?
Yeah, look, I mean, you look at sort of the calendar year, over 200 IPOs. It's just like absolutely crazy. It's probably a result of, loose monetary policy and, markets have been flying. So any sort of companies out there thinking of listing it just thought, it's a great time to list. But, speaking to a few of, our advisors within sort of the Armytage circle and, they've been talking to some of their clients, a lot of their 708s and, they're just happy to put their queue in the rack. Yeah. For the rest of the year, given that they're usually quite active, in IPOs, and they like to sort of spread their money around and take a bit of interest in each. But I think they've just been burned by too many, and they want to take a bit of stock and just take a breather and see what happens. For sort of the next 6 to 8 months, that's left in the financial year. But I think from our perspective, we certainly think there'll be opportunities within the marketplace, and I think first you have to take a bit more of a macro approach to it all and look at the sectors that we think will be positive or that'll be bullish for the remaining 6 months of the financial year, and then from there you get a bit more granular and take a bit more of a micro approach and you look at the companies and look at the ones that have been oversold, look at the ones that have sort of, got a lot of potential but just might have been, just overlooked or just, as I said, the steam's run out of the market. So we think there's certainly opportunity there if you're willing to do the work. But I mean, just touching on when you were talking about before that, a lot of these IPOs have just been structured, pretty badly. A lot of the seed holders haven't been escrowed, for 12 or 24 months going into listing, and they've been sellers on day one. So a lot of IPO holders are sitting there thinking, wow, why are we here? Yeah, why are we here if these holders haven't been escrowed? So I think moving forward, there's certainly opportunities if you're willing to do the work, and we think that starts by approaching it from a macro perspective and then getting a bit more granular after that.
Yeah, so that's all we have for this week, Money Talks. Tune in next week.